This was our first Australian Open, and wow, it was way more than just tennis. From the rowdy crowd and exceptional tennis, to the interesting characters, all the way to the grounds that have something for everyone. Here's what it's like to experience the AO in person. Plus, we'll sprinkle in some tips that helped us out if you're planning to come. But first, where were we? Oh yeah, flying fresh out of Auckland.
Yay! Alright, you're all in the video. Haha!
We grabbed some SIM cards and made our way to the city. What floor is it?
Oh my god. Heading to day 1, well really day 5 of the Australian Open!
Let's go!
It's kind of windy and chilly out here, so we're gonna see how this goes.
Day 1. Just caught the tram. You get free tickets on the tram if you have AO tickets. It was a somewhat confusing walk around to find one of the entrances. By the way, make sure you aren't bringing anything against the rules. There's some weird ones, like having a 200mm or greater focal length camera lens. The more you know. On the other hand, things you should definitely pack is sunscreen. Hats, sunglasses, stuff like that, plus water and some food if you want to save some money.
Like a rotisserie.
Feels good.
We were quickly overwhelmed by the grounds and how big they were.
Chaos.
There are many things to do and see, but mainly you're going to want to know about the different courts first. There are 3 large premium arenas: Rod Laver, Margaret Court, and John Cain. Margaret Court and Rod Laver require tickets to be purchased beforehand for a day or night session. John Cain is the same, but it actually does have some unreserved seats that you can wait in line for. These 3 usually have the bigger or more anticipated matches, but I wouldn't always bank on that. They also have food and bathrooms in the facilities, and they can be either partially covered or completely covered depending on the weather. On the other hand, Kia and 1573 are smaller arenas that are mostly open to the elements, and just require waiting in shorter lines to get in. Finally, there are the outdoor courts, split between official courts and practice or warm-up courts. These practice courts are a great way to find your favorite tennis stars surrounded by all their fans. But just know that these practice courts can sometimes become official courts, so just be aware. That comes up a little bit later. With all these outdoor courts, just be prepared for the weather. And sometimes it can be a little crowded because there can be some heaters of matches out here. The grounds passes we paid for basically include everything aside from the reserved seats. So especially in the earlier rounds, it's totally worth it. You can see plenty of amazing tennis with just these basic tickets. Aside from the courts, the grounds are filled with places to eat, drink, socialize, dance, play games, shop, watch tennis, you name it. But we'll go into that a bit later. Now for some tennis. We quickly ran over to the 1573 arena. And had our first encounter with the loud crowds.
Andiamo a vincere, forza Giulio, Ale, dai bello, ci siamo, dai, forza! Grande bello, forza! Dai, oh, andiamo! We were a bit worried as the weather started to turn. It's
always good to bring an umbrella or a rain jacket just in case. A little bit of bad weather here, but should clear up in a sec.
I hope.
The crew was actually able to get the court up and running very quickly after the rain had stopped. At this point, we decided to leave and check out more of the grounds.
So here you can walk through and be misted by sunscreen. Gotta stay SPF'd.
We legitimately thought these were sunscreen misters, but they're not. But they do have sunscreen out for everyone to use, just in case you forgot. Remember, the sun is piercing down here, so you definitely want to cover up. There's actually this cool courtside bar where you can hang out and chill and actually watch some of the matches of an outside court nearby. So we decided to grab a drink.
We got our Prosecco and our soft lunch.
See it?
Squealing pig. Do you know how much it was?
How much?
For both, 27 Australian dollars. So like 20, rough estimate.
So $10 each.
Honestly, not terrible for in here.
There was a doubles match with two Americans that we really wanted to see. Germany versus the US.
In the queue to see Eubanks and Shelton. Just kidding! That match got moved and now we're running to the other side of the park again.
Fortunately, the courts got changed a couple times and had us running around the grounds trying to find it. This can happen sometimes, so definitely download the app so you can keep up to date with all the matches that are going on and where they're going on.
You saw him in there? Yeah, the guy was hanging out of the conductor thing.
Just laughing after you honked.
Both days we were here, Melissa and Liz had night passes to Rod Laver. So Lynn and I took off a little bit earlier to get some sleep and some Korean fried chicken. Funny story about this. While Liz and Mel stayed at the tournament with matches that were going on late into the night, Lynn and I explored the city and tried to find something open and palatable. Something that I consider pretty positive is that there's a lot of authentic Asian food in Melbourne. Unfortunately, if you're not used to that kind of food, it might be a little off-putting. So we had to find something a little bit more mild for Lynn. We settled on some Korean fried chicken, which, I mean, who can say no to that? The girls ended up taking an Uber back as the match went late into the night.
And maybe I look so tired. They won't question me.
The tiredest of girls.
They're nice here.
Yeah, these are cool. I've never seen anything like this.
Day 2 was much of a chiller day as we decided to grab some groceries on the way to the ground so we could save a bit of money.
You got We've got all kinds of squeezable yogurt. Even Chobani's in squeezable. Does everybody just do squeezable? This is crazy.
This was a tip we even used quite a bit during the French Open in 2022. I still remember munching on a stale plain baguette all day that we got from a random bakery in Paris. Honestly, can't complain too much.
My only complaint? I've only been able to collect photos of Nadal's statue rather than the man himself. Hit subscribe if you're enjoying this video to make sure you don't miss our journey through Roland Garros.
Maybe we'll see him there.
I can only hope.
Today, we decided to grab a spot in John Cain, where you can get in by either waiting in line or scanning a QR code to wait. When Mel and I went in 2025, we actually realized they got rid of this. But to be honest, waiting in line seemed more consistent to us anyways. Just be prepared for a long line. And we would recommend trying to get in for the match before the one you actually want to see instead of waiting in line missing most of the match. Once you have your seats, you are allowed to scan something that lets you leave and come back so that you can sort of reserve your spot if you need to go to the bathroom or grab some food. Where are we?
We are at John Cain Arena to see Taylor Fritz. And whoever he's playing, I forget.
We had a fiery match lined up. First, catching the end of a now top 5 tennis player, Taylor Fritz.
There it is, the number 1 American male player in the world.
I felt like first set was a bit unlucky. He had the one game to break me, he broke me, and I played a lot of really good games on his serve.
Into another talented and young American, Ben Shelton, who's ranked 6th as of this recording. Ben was up against Mannarino, a French tennis player who also happened to be left-handed. What was really fun about this match were the French were pretty loud for their boy. And then by proxy, everyone else, including the Aussies and Germans around us, were loud and proud Americans for the day.
Ben just broke French med for the second time with an incredible shot. Just put it away. It was beautiful. Like, the crowd.
And the crowd just erupted.
Love it. You know.
And we got USA chants from everyone.
From everywhere.
The only time you'll ever hear that.
The only time I'll do it.
What happened?
I just got really dumb.
Let me see.
We're really about to go back inside.
After a nail-biter of a match between the lefties, unfortunately, Ben went down.
Hey, Mel here. I wanted to add that during the Shelton match, my sister and I had tickets for Rod Laver, which ended up being Djokovic versus some other dude, and the match was not close. We kept running back to the more exciting Shelton match until it was over. Afterwards, we finally settled into our nosebleed seats for the Rod Laver Djokovic experience.
It goes to show that you don't necessarily get better matches with an arena ticket. Remember that when trying to predict when you should get tickets and what days you should go. This is actually the reason we prefer to go in one of the earlier rounds of the tournament, so we can increase the chances of getting a match we actually want to watch in the outdoor courts. Afterwards, there was one more match of the night in Rod Laver, which was a women's singles match that Mel's mom and I actually were allowed in since there were plenty of seats. And with that being the final match of our final day, that wrapped our experience with the AO.
That's a wrap.
Before we go though, we have one more thing to cover. It wouldn't be a good video if we didn't at least cover the grounds. The grounds of the AO were fully equipped for all ages. Plenty of food stalls, bars/adult sections. Alcohol?
Cool, except for I hate Aperol.
Massive screens everywhere, shops, musicians, and games. Aside from the arena and the many outdoor courts, you have plenty of ways to enjoy the grounds. First off is the Grand Slam Oval, which is just a place where you have a big screen and tons of food all around. Come here to chill, eat, dance, drink, you name it. They usually have a DJ somewhere nearby. Across from the Oval is the AO shop, which is a place where you can get your apparel fix like we did. There's also Ralph Lauren, but who's got the money for that? Around Rod Laver is a bunch of places where kids and adults can play a bunch of different sports. Things like half-court basketball, paddle, pop tennis, down-ball courts, totem tennis, tennis hot shots. Hey, there's even VR tennis. And now I'm realizing that most of it is just different ways to play tennis. On one side of the gardens is a few things like the aforementioned courtside bar. On the flip side of all of the arenas is a bunch of suites that, unless you're fancy, you're not gonna have access to. At least I know we didn't. Across the bridge is Top Court, where you'll find a stage and a bunch of courts where you can play those sports we were talking about, plus a few more places to shop. Right by the city entrance is a large area where there should be a water slide, target practice, and a bunch of places for kids to enjoy. We didn't spend too much time here, but it seemed like a blast. If you continue, you actually end up reaching the ends of the grounds. But that doesn't mean the party stops there, as the open permeates through the entirety of the city. As right outside is the AO Hilltop, where you'll find a great place to watch tennis outside and grab some drinks, even if you don't have grounds passes. And if you continue to follow the Yarra River into the city, you'll actually find a ton of bars and restaurants, great vibey places during sunset, where you can continue to watch the AO on screens they have outside. Outside of the Australian Open, Melbourne is still a great city to visit. Things like the Queen Victoria Market, Federation Square, taking a ride on the City Circle tram, which is free by the way, or even going to an art gallery. There's the Royal Botanic Gardens, the Melbourne Sky Deck, or even if you want to relax, you can go to the St. Kilda Beach. One of the things people talk about is going to the famous laneways, so don't miss that. And Melbourne is only a day trip from the Great Ocean Road or Phillip Island. This makes visiting Melbourne not just worth it for the tennis, but for everything around it. And we love going back each year. All in all, the Australian Open is probably my favorite Grand Slam I've been to, albeit I've only been to 2. It is such a great time, and it feels like no matter what, even if you're not a huge tennis fan, you're going to enjoy it. You get so much out of just having grounds passes, and there is so much to do on the grounds and in the city that you really wouldn't run out of things, making it a huge value. I'd honestly recommend the AO to anyone who's interested in going or will be in the area around that time. I totally understand for my North American European friends that it is quite a far trip, but if you enjoy sports and you're gonna be in Southern Australia for the summer, I would seriously consider going. And if you're a tennis fan, there's no question this should be on your list at some point in your life. Plus, if you're traveling from far away, the AO is centered around one of the most beautiful places in the world, Oceania. Speaking of, our next stop journeys into Northern Australia itself, where we're gonna be hitting up the world famous Great Barrier Reef, which has been on my bucket list for decades. On top of that, there are some awesome wildlife experiences and rainforests that we're gonna be visiting as well. So stick around for that. Hey guys, I just came here to say that we really appreciate you taking the time to watch the video. If you found it helpful at all or entertaining, please drop us a like, give us a subscribe. We will be continuing to post from New Zealand and all around the world. We got trips to Japan, Iceland, you name it. So if you want to follow our adventure, Mel and I really appreciate it. And if not, leave us a comment and let us know what we could do better. What a beautiful day, by the way. And for those who love tennis, we have gone to the French Open and we do plan to make some more tennis content. And let us know if you really want to see it. We can move it up in the queue. Either way, we super appreciate you guys watching and we will catch you in the next one. See ya.